going through the worst emotional turmoil of your life. But when someone encourages you, it lifts you just a little. And that's what God does. That's what God is doing for Jeremiah here. He is in captivity, and he's a prophet telling the people how bad things will be. And he's like, woe is me, Lord. And he says, I have to remember to focus on you. And I have to remember that what your word says is true. So Jeremiah would pick up his scrolls and he'd be reading, woo, this is good stuff. Thank you, Lord. You delivered them. You delivered them from Egypt so you can deliver these people from Babylon and then from Baal and all these other people. You can deliver it. I know you did it then. You can do it again because that's how good you are. It is good that one waits quietly.
Where are you now?
I am in 26. It is good that one waits quietly. Does that mean we call Grumpy Granny and tell her about everything? Mm-hmm. Quiet's pretty simple, isn't it? We understand the concept. I don't like to be quiet. And I'm an introvert. Imagine that. I can easily sit at home and not talk to no one for days, weeks. Come here and get all my talking out to you guys. I'm good. Do it again next week. Not say nothing to nobody. Doesn't bother me at all. But he says, be quiet. Wait quietly. Because we've said this in different ways. That's why prayers don't get answered. We ask God to change this or change me or change that. And next thing you know, we're going to Grumpy Granny. Can you believe what's happening to me right now? I feel yada yada, or I do this or I do that. And we're contradicting what we've asked God to do. And remember, we're standing on. God tells us the power of life and death is in your tongue. We're asking to change the situation, but we're speaking death into it. And God's going, what do you want me to do? You want me to change it? Leave it like it is? Because that's what you're saying. And half the time when we go to prayer, we're reciting a problem instead of asking God to change it. Remember we talked about mountain get? We don't speak to the mountain to tell the God, that mountain's got to go. This is their promises. This is what I like to see happen. And listen to him to see if that's okay. And he'll tell us, you need to tweak this a little bit or change this. But instead we're going, the doctor said, Jim said, that said, these said, this is what's going on. We're reciting the problem. He never told us to tell him what's going on because he already knows. He says, come to me. Well, I found a promise. And, it says right here, it says right here, it says, I can have hope. And if I expect, and I can have compassion. And, you're great beyond the measure of your faithfulness. So I know you're going to take care of it. I don't know how. Change me so that I keep my eyes on you and not the circumstances. Because if I speak to that mountain, it's got to go into the river. It's got to go into the ocean because that's what you said, Lord. At times we got to sit quietly so we know what to call a mountain. And that's what he's saying here. It is good that one waits quietly. Because we could go around the room and we could do a Grumpy Granny and we have mountains that we could list, either our own or for others. I guarantee we all have mountains that we could say, this is a mountain and yada, 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 and go down a list. And we definitely could go through a list of things we see in the country and in the world about the mountains that the world has, that God, if you don't overcome, never will be overcome. But do we ever get quiet and go, this is a mountain I see, Lord. How am I supposed to pray it to be changed? And just go, I'm not leaving my prayer time until you tell me. I'm not leaving my prayer time until you tell me how to pray for my church. I'm not leaving my prayer time until you tell me how to pray for my friends and family or my country.
When you do that, you feel comfort and peace.
Yeah.
And God will show you what the answer is.
Yeah.
And just be turning the page and reading something and say, oh, that's...
Exactly. And And at times, if we're quietly listening, He may go, Ivan, I need you to do this. Whoa, wait a minute. I didn't get quiet to hear from you and tell me to do something. And then why are you listening to me then? I'm faithful to change the situation, but since you are my representative and you're my ambassador on earth, I need you to go to that mountain and tell it's got to stop and it's got to be done. And I need you to do this. I need you to start this. I need you to change this. I'm starting to realize the older I get, the more and more my prayers is, what do I need to do, Lord? Not change them. What do I need to do? If I shine brighter, the light will shine. And they'll get it. Or they'll go blind. And sit there and never know that I'm there anyway. But that's not my fault. That's on them. If they want to have a dead religious experience, that's on them. I don't. I want to get to the place where I'm as much like Jesus as God needs me to be on this earth at the moment He needs me. So when He goes, speak, go,